My journey today has taken me to the little village of Kilcoo in County Down, home of the All-Ireland Senior Club football champions. Now we're here in Kilcoo GAA Club, and with me are the two joint captains of the All-Ireland champions. Imagine that, Kilcoo All-Ireland Club champions, Aidan Brannigan and Conor Laverty. And as well as that, we have Conor Laverty's son, Fikra, a footballer of the future. Aidan, can we start with you? Look back on that most memorable of days, All-Ireland champions. And Jerome Johnston scoring the goal, the late goal. You'll never be forgotten for that achievement.
No, Brian, it was brilliant. For such a small club, it was brilliant. It was a fantastic feeling. I suppose it took a few weeks to settle down and for it really to sink in what we had done.
Yeah, just looking at it from the perspective of playing it, how did you appraise the team's performance against Kilmacud that day?
We thought going in at the end of full time that was our worst performance all year. You know, everywhere we had been going for 2 weeks before it, everyone was telling you were going to win, you know, and I think it had creeped into the team. We were a wee bit soft on the day, and we definitely were not performing at our best.
Well, what came through very clearly in the face of adversity was that resilience and character of the players.
Yeah, definitely. The last 5 minutes of the game, we were 2 points down, and everybody was still shouting to each other, you know, we can still do this, we can still do it. And you could see the face in the Kilmacud one saying, you know, it's over, you know, you're 2 points down and there's only a couple of minutes left, but everybody knew if we kept going, it could come our way.
I suppose that was part of the character of Kilcoo for so long, persevering to the very end.
Yeah, even just before Jerome got the goal, the pressure that they were under, you know, for the fella to miskick the ball, but he was under immense pressure. It wasn't a miss kick, you know. The pressure was up the field. There was full back standing in the full forward line tackling. They were under pressure, so it did come with hard work.
What was it like then, we'll say, in the build-up, not just to the All-Ireland final, but winning the Down Championship, the Ulster Championship? How did you feel the team played?
We played well, but we were focused. Look, we're not going to make any graces about it. We were focusing on the All-Ireland, you know.
Yes.
For Mickey, that was the big thing for him to win, so every match we won was just another match down. At the start of the year, Deets started counting out how many senior teams was in it, you know, and every night we used to come to tea and he would say, there's so many lights on tonight, boys. And then the next night, and then so the last night then he said, we're down to 2 Saturday lights, lads, here we go.
What's very evident in the course of the interviews here in Kilcoo is the mention, Conor Laverty, of Mickey. The name Mickey comes up so often. Mickey Morden, the Bonish Thor, the manager. What does he represent to Kilcoo?
I suppose Mickey will never be forgotten in Kilcoo now for what he has done, and we had spent a lot of our lives trying to get over the line in Ulster, and we had 9 attempts at it, and then we needed a new manager, and we went after Mickey Morden, and then he came in 3 years to win 3 Downs, 2 Ulsters and 1 All-Ireland, and was brilliant. And he just brought that something that whatever was missing, he just added that to us. But even just for him, Brian, it was great because I think it fitted very well. Kilcoo were chasing that dream of winning an Ulster, and then once you get out of Ulster, it opened up to the All-Ireland series. But Mickey was chasing that All-Ireland title to be able to manage a team to that. And I think both sets of parties merged together to ultimately achieve each other's dreams.
And tell me this, what do you view as his attributes as a manager, Mickey Morden?
It's just about how nice of a person he is. He's able to get messages across in a way that other managers can't.
Sure.
Other managers, there's different styles of management, and some bang tables, some raise their voices, but Mickey seems with a softer approach. He would put his arm around you and have a quiet word in your ear, but a stern word as well. But honesty is massive for him. And he's such an honest man. He calls it very, very straight, and I think everybody respects that then, because if he's telling you something, should it be good or bad, he's only telling you it for the betterment of the team. And it's just he's like a grand figure, so he is round the place. Like, everybody has so much respect for him, and everybody lived in every word he said.
You talked there about quietly spoken. The quiet man spoke at half-time in the All-Ireland final. Raised voice?
Aye, well, that was probably him.
Or not?
Aye, he was honest, but there was a a sternness to his voice that day. There was a steeliness to that team talk. But I think as players, it was hardly a word spoke from us, because we knew that we had let ourselves down. But also, I think everybody thought that we've let Mickey down here, and this was Mickey's last chance to get over the line. And whenever he spoke, it really hurt us that we had let this man down on the biggest day, and we were going out in the second half to try to prove to him what he meant to us.
Was that the message that kind of you brought out onto Croke Park for the second half?
I think it was, as players, that we had let ourselves down, we had let our families down, our community down, and we had also let Mickey down, and we needed to go out and rectify that in the second half.
Is that the sense you got as well, Aidan?
It was, Brian. Like, as men been coaching us for 20, 30 years here, you know, and for all that coaching to go in and then to not perform on the day, you were letting everyone down. So that was the turning point at half time. That it wasn't for ourselves, it was for everybody that had done everything for us.
But then as the game unfolded, it reversed fortunes to a certain degree when Niall, your goalkeeper, scored direct from a 45. That seemed to inject a little energy into the team and maybe a belief as well. Or is that an accurate assessment?
That happened, and there was 3 or 4 different things happened at the one time, Brian. Yes, the goal winning definitely helped, was a massive turning point in any game. Goals always do change games.
Sure.
But young Anthony Morgan came on, and there was a couple of boys, and Anthony was attacking more. He was going direct, you know what I mean? And he was cutting through. There was a lot of things. There was a lot of things just turning at the one time.
What is your memory of the final goal in extra time? You saw the move unfolding, Conor.
Yeah, it was just...
describe it for me. It changed history for Kilcoo.
We probably knew we had to put pressure on them, because we had to step up that wee bit and squeeze them up a bit higher up the field and maybe force them into a mistake. And whenever it unfolded, I don't know if... It was just hard, because you were thinking, are they going to give us the chance? Like, they probably should have fouled us out the field, like they should have got it stopped. But whenever Shailen got the ball, you knew he was always going to have the pace to create something, and then to find the pass with his right foot, and for Ryan and Jerome to be in that area at that time. It was just sort of, I'm a firm believer that it was written in the stars this year, like, for us, and that we got that wee bit of luck. But I think all the sacrifices and all the hard work that we put in, that we earned that. And then once Jerome hit it, I was a wee bit like Aidan. Everybody was celebrating, and I was looking at the clock saying, like, these boys are going to get a chance to get another score here, and the last thing we needed was going to penalties. So it was like trying to, that if only the goal, but then to get our heads refocused and make sure that we don't concede at the other end. And then the ball came in and Eugene grabbed her in her own defence, and that was it then.
And Jerome Johnston has that goal scoring touch.
Yeah.
It's part of it, been around just in that innate to him.
He's always had that from his. We used to take him at underage, and he was full forward when we were at the Fela, you know, and he's always had that. We used to play like the same sort of system as we played now, where Killian was the half forward. We kicked the ball to Killian, kicked it into Jerome, and Jerome scored the goals, you know. So he's always had that since he was a wee boy.
Aidan, tell me this: how has life changed for you since you were crowned All-Ireland champions? I know you still have to go around every day work and all of that, but what's it like in your mind and in your thoughts?
It's a weight off your shoulders, you know. You know, for 10 years it was a serious commitment what we'd put in. It wasn't normal, you know. Our families had suffered a lot, especially me and Conor with such big families.
Sure.
Our wives, you know, every night we're leaving the house, and Conor's is the same. There's always somebody crying, but the time you get to the bottom of the lane, you forget about that and you're focused in on your training. But that child might cry for half an hour. It's tough on a family, you know, and people sort of forget that, and when they're watching the game, you know, they forget what people's giving up. It's definitely tough going on family life.